Alrighty, we are back again. I like streaming more. I had a good time earlier, and honestly, it's just nice to be able to stream once in a while. I really enjoy it. So here we are. Hi, Jasmine. Welcome to the stream. Gonna be doing more roulette grinding because that's what I have decided I want to do today. One reason or another. So we'll just we'll see how it goes. Should be fun. I mean, it's always fun. Let's be honest. I always have a good time with it. So we'll just enjoy the one thing we can do, right? I wonder why this is not working. That should be working. Let's see if I can get it to work here. There we go. Sorry, I had to fix some settings. Thank you for waiting for me. Oh, gonna just lurk. Alright, I mean, that's fine. I always appreciate someone hanging around while I stream, so. Probably gonna hop back into trials. Since queues usually go pretty fast, and we'll just get our lovely adventurer and need bonus over and over and over again. Oh, not bad. I actually don't mind this one.
I must forsake myself to keep mine oath, and so be it.
Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie.
Your mercy.
Ah, right. That one's Dynamo. There we go. Chariot and Dynamo. Actually, Chariot's the ring, I think. I don't remember. They've come up with lots of names for mechanics based on okay. Older content, and I just forget the names from time to time, but I knew that was what I will refer to as the donut. people are mostly okay here.
Impudent mortals! Grant me the strength to smite mine enemy!
I always love that kind of thing in anything, the little water droplet, the sound it makes. I just love that in literally anything.
Stubborn fools! This is far from over.
Oh, you cannot arm's length that. That's good to know.
Bless us, my flesh! Show them their folly! None can match my might!
Side. And back to the other side. And back to the middle. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit by that. Don't actually. Oh.
You know where to run!
I've always loved these trials. Just the music. I mean, I would be hard pressed to find a trial that I didn't like the music of. I know they exist. But if you ask me which one, I probably couldn't tell you. Alright, so that's... Yep. There we go. Nice and easy. We'll, calm the warrior. Why not? Don't forget to calm people. It's nice, especially if they're playing tank. There's a couple nice I was gonna say there's mounts, but I think the mounts are just for doing the duties, not for the comms. There are some rewards you get for getting enough comms, though, so I always like to make sure I'm giving the commands at the end of every duty when I can. Anyways. I didn't play this game for a long time. I'm one of the people that stopped playing around when Dawn Trail was released. I actually didn't even play Endwalker on release. I pre-ordered it and everything, and I just never got around to it. I finally did that this year, or end of last year, mix. And, oh my god, it was amazing. I'm caught up on the like actual Dawn Trail stuff. I just have to do post Dawn Trail MSQ, which is what part of this is. I've just been putting it off, but I'm gonna get it all done before the next expansion in January, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm really excited for the new expansion. We'll see how it turns out in the end, but I really think we're gonna be pleasantly surprised when it's finally done. Like, this game has had its fair share of problems over the years, so I'm excited to see how they tackle the big ones, but... Oh, there's Titan. It's always Titan. Wahoo! Probably the least interesting fight in the queue, honestly. In all of Trials queue, this is probably the one I have the least interest in doing. Ifrit's also kind of boring, but at least you can make an argument for, like, it could be fun. This is just a slog every time. It's okay, though. And the real problem is that I get, like, no reward for it. Alright, so we just stand in the middle, and then the one at the end goes off, and then we just move. It's basically just the Shiva circles mechanic. As long as you know the order they spawn in, you're fine. That person's going to die. Goodbye. If I was healer, I would have rescued them, but, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do to help someone who has Death Wish. I'm gonna... I lost one of my Berserk stacks. Joking. That's unfortunate. Titan roulette's just... very boring. There's just not much going on here. Any of the other ARR primals I probably would have preferred. Alright, so we just go to the right side, and then the ones in the middle blow up, and then we go to the middle. Like, the mechanic is not that bad. Once you've seen it, I should say. I definitely understand how people who aren't used to this mechanic don't really know what's going on. Whew. I was definitely in the wrong spot there. I'm convinced that that red mage is trying to die. I know they aren't. I know they're just, there's a few sprouts in here. I can't blame them. Easy mechanic. These people really should not be standing here. They're gonna get cleaved. Yep, there they go. There's nothing I can do about that. That should be almost enough. Come on. One player comm, not bad. And back to the queue. We're just gonna keep doing this over and over and over. While we slowly farm up what we need here. Might do some of the other queues at one point. But for now I'm enjoying this, so. Yeesh. Alrighty. So this trial has real mechanics. The mechanic is basically don't get hit by the same color. I can't take that one. I can't take that one. I can take this one. And now I can take this one. So the different orbs do, some do magic damage and some do physical. That's unfortunate. I got one. One is fine, it's just not ideal. Thank you for the hydration reminder. I will make sure I drink some water as soon as I am not dying. Ouch. Now I remember why I don't like this fight. The person's no. That's fine, it died very quickly. Usually you want those little dark sprites to face outwards because they do a big cleaving type attack. These. Put our damage off. Okay. Nice work. I'm definitely calming the white mage for her lovely, lovely guidance there for all of the new players. Very helpful when people actually want to help. Oh, we got a couple comms. I'm hoping that that white mage got a lot of them as well. Make me feel a little better. Some people don't comm, which I don't get. There's like challenge logs in the game. You get some money and some XP for doing them. And it's like a decent amount. All you have to do is just vote 5 times every week. Just vote 5 times. You can do that in a single day most of the time. So, I don't get why people don't do it, but whatever. Whew. Time to pick another food item arbitrarily and craft 1,000 of them. I mean, yeah, have fun with that. You have fun with that. I don't know. What is your... Where are you? Here. 90. Everything else, 80. 90. Ay. Wait, I thought you said you were in the 90 gear. Crafting gear for what you need. Oh, right, 90 this. Right. You're in the 90 gear for this. Not for these. My brain's not working, sorry. It's still weird that you cook the parts for the frying pan. I think that's incredibly funny. Thank you for the stretch reminder, and I did remember to drink some water, so we're good on that front. See, this is where you can see why the scaling in this game is so messed up. I have 10,000 HP. The other tank only has 7,500. This isn't their fault. This is simply because their gear is on level. And they have the highest eye level 50 gear you can get, I'm pretty sure. I think it's actually slightly higher than 110 is the highest. But that's still a lot of stats, right? Like, you would think so anyways. But it doesn't matter because the way scaling works, actually missing a lot of stats here. It's actually very likely that I'm gonna accidentally rip off of him just from doing more damage. Out of here. Come into my stream and advertise your shitty view botting? How dare you? I know those are bot accounts, obviously it's not a real person doing that, but I think this is here. I'm thinking of a later mechanic. I know at one point I gotta get behind the towers. DPS really need to take care of those. That's where it's going to be a problem. Not as much of a problem as I was thinking it was going to be, though. Alright. I think she spawns the other one in hard mode. It might only be EX. Oh my god. There it is. This one's mine. I don't know why I'm yawning. I don't even feel tired. Oof. Garuda's Scream. Oh, it's the axe stream. Oh, calm. That one. Alrighty. Alrighty. And on to the next one. Oh, I cleared selection instead of hitting join. What are we at now? We're almost 20% of the way there. Been quite a lot of grinding though to only be 20%. It is what it is. It would be nice to have a toggle for trial roulette to have it pick extremes similar to the limited level. I mean, you can't. There is no queue for extremes though. That's the thing. Is because extremes are harder. Like if you're doing synced extremes, like they wouldn't. The duty roulette is for duties that are very easy to clear with like a group. Everything else, you know, same reason there's not a savage one. It should be an option. Yeah, but the reason roulettes exist are to like fill like people trying to queue for the thing for progression or just to do it the first time. It helps those people because you can get paired with people who are doing a roulette even if you directly queue for a thing. It's why you're able to directly queue for things. It's one of the reasons anyways. So yeah, I mean they wouldn't do it for extremes because people, at least in Japan, pickup groups use Duty Finder for that stuff. But the NA data centers, the culture is you use Party Finder to do any hard content. It's just different culture. But there's a lot of reasons they would never put it into normal queue. Do my opener correctly this time. It is a little different when you're this early of a level. There we go. Hi again. The bunny emotes are adorable. Yeah, I know. Those were actually from a pack I got on VGen. I didn't commission those ones. But I did purchase, like, the ability to use them. I like Ravana. This is one of my... This is one of the more enjoyable, raids, I think. Bugman. I don't like Bugman. Oh, I almost walked out of that. You got a level 3 craft. Nice. See, sometimes it's gonna happen. It is really just a knowing what you're doing. Like, the expert crafts are just a lot. Like, they really could have tried to make them a little less annoying to do. But they want people to do them manually, so... Oh, right. That's the one that stays. Oh god, right, he's parrying. Need to kill those ones. Still doing nothing. Okay, we're finally done with that mechanic. Nice. What class or classes do I play? A lot of them. Mostly, though, warrior, paladin. I mean, I play all the tanks, really. I like all of them. White mage for healer. Samurai, monk, dragoon for melee DPS. Bard and dancer for physical ranged. And then mostly black mage for magical range. I don't really like summon... the current incarnation of summoner, I should say. It needs a lot of work, in my opinion. Okay. I remember there being another mechanic in this that he hasn't done. I could just be crazy. Really wish someone would LB him. Where's the LB? Oh, there it is. And he's dead. I also, if you didn't notice, I have all of my crafting and gatherers maxed out, which I'm happy with. We'll calm the other tank, since they're playing tank. I did like those Lalafell outfits, though. I almost calmed them just for the outfits. And back into queue we go. We are quite literally making money doing this, just from the silly... Like, it's not a lot of gil, like 4,000. But, you know, it is technically money. Slowly getting there. Very, very slowly. I might just end up running high-level dungeons and Alliance roulettes instead. Because they have higher base values, and then rely on the other... Oh, I was not expecting this. This is like one of the ones you get the least amount from. I think I only get like less than 100 points from this one, I'm pretty sure, because it's so short. Alright, well. Oh well. Why is it... I see a lot of people don't know how the mechanics work. I think everyone got hit by that. Which is understandable, like you'd never get this. Because it's only done as part of the relic quests for ARR, the first part of the game. And not many people are doing those relics at this point. Not that people don't go back and do them, but I think you only have to do this step in the relics once for all of them. Nice. Very easy. And away we go. 4 player comms, nice. The other nice thing about grinding all these roulettes is I'm just stacking up player comms, which I want a lot of. I think I need... You need a certain amount of them total for the... I need 1,500 of them to get mentor status, which would be fun to have. I don't need it, I just think it would be nice to have, that's all. And back into queue. I'm enjoying this though, I'm having a good time. I mean, I just like streaming. The only reason I'm back streaming today is because I like streaming. Normally I would have just... When I streamed for 3.5 hours earlier, I thought that's all I had in me today, but here we are. Here we are. I'm having a good time. This is a technically post-Endwalker MSQ spoiler, so if you're not at that part of the game, I would look away. Look away now. This is your only opportunity. We will be turning around. 3, 2, 1. I hate this fight. It's just hair. It's just hair. It's just all hair. Just like Rapunzel. Big lady. And away we go.
Exquisite beauty. My head shimmers with anticipation.
I already forgot the mechanic here. Yep, there it is. Okay. And then she's going to go over here and do like a big cleave. Need the other tank, I need the other tank. Thank you. Thancred. His name's Thancred, I love that. Big fan. Dynamo. Half room. Okay. Another one of these.
My legs are as the wind. Strong and free.
Okay, so this one's the line again, and then it's half room, yeah. Almost messed that part up. This is going to be another one of the nice things about the new combat system, when most of these are just not here, so I don't have too many of them. Tank, tank, tank.
You've done well to last this season.
Very clean fight so far.
The battle has only just begun.
This is definitely the part I know I'm going to mess up. At least a little bit.
Don't underestimate me. Feel my fury. Know your place.
This mechanic again. Just gonna arms like that. Fantastic. Oh. And once again. Oh, that one. Insta-pop. Okay. Always nice when the Qs pop pretty quickly. After this one, we'll do a, another ad break. Unfortunately. Cool info dump. I mean, let's see, what do I want to info dump about right now? Oh gosh. Can you give me a moment to think of something, and I promise I will not forget you. I will make sure I give you a nice fun info dump. I just gotta think about something to info dump about. Let's see here. About that game yesterday? Oh, in Discord? Yeah, I was talking about Eve. Were you there when I was info dumping about Eve? I don't remember. I don't remember who was there. I just know I was info dumping for quite a while about that. Mostly because Lily wanted me to. I think she got a kick out of it. Eve's a game I just don't play anymore and have no interest in going back to, but I still know a lot about it. I probably won't info dump more about that, but I could definitely info dump about something else. Oh, there's gotta be something in my brain. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna get started in this fight here. That's fair, you don't usually say too much, so yeah, that's a good way of putting it. You don't really have a big presence. But honestly, that's kind of like the ideal sometimes, you know? It would be nice to not have to worry about everyone constantly hearing every single thing you say, having to watch everything you say because you're worried about what other people think about it or whatever. You know, there's something to be said about that. Are we already at... I was gonna say, I don't think we're already at Diamond Dust. Here's the lovely... I don't really have anything interesting to input up about Final Fantasy that isn't like a spoiler, so I can't do that either. As much as some of the stuff that's going on stream can be like spoiler inclusive at times, especially because of what we're doing, I'd rather not spoil actual story beats, although I do think it's one of my favorite games in terms of just story. Yeah, I knew I was getting hit by two of those. That was... Alright, let me finish up with this fight. It's almost over, and then I'll give you an info dump. But I am not able to focus on that. And this at the same time, I've seen streamers do it. I definitely can't. Don't have that one in me. We will calm... Wow, not a single person with an actual plate. That's crazy. Calm one of the healers. Ads then info dumping? That's probably a good point. We'll run ads real quick. I'll think of something to info dump about, and then yeah, we'll come back and I'll get you your info dump. That probably works a little better. And then I'll grab some water, do some stretching, use the bathroom, etc., etc. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes. See y'all then. Okay, we're back. Everyone back? Alright, Jasmine, you wanted to hear some cool info dumping? Be more than happy to share. So, here's a fun one for you. Did you know that any speaker, pretty much any speaker, like electronic speaker, can also be turned into a microphone? This includes things like smoke detectors, smart smoke detectors, like the kind they use in a lot of like high school bathrooms now, for example. You know, the things that when they're supposed to catch things like you know, vaping or like actual smoking or fires or carbon monoxide or whatever else. They can be more or less, you know, broken into, abused, and have the speaker functionality of them. So, you know, what plays the, like, alarm sounds or whatever else sounds, like, because they could also be like a PA system, for example. It can be used as a microphone. There was actually a really cool talk done at one of the more recent DEF CONs. I'll see if I can find it. I'll paste it in here. But basically, because we live in an age where almost everything is there's so many smart devices, what we call like Internet of Things, like IoT devices. We have introduced so many more possible like vectors for malicious attacks and such. So I can't do it as much justice as the original talk did, but suffice to say, because these things are smart devices and because they aren't really as secure as they should be, you can do things like, oh, I don't know, change the way the sensor works and make it so that even if it's picking up the correct amount, it's reporting the incorrect amount of something, so it never sets off an alarm or a flag or whatever. So if you know how to break into it, you could totally go vape in a bathroom where one of those exists, and they would never know you're vaping in there, or smoking, or whatever else you're going to do. You could also use them to listen in on private conversations if, you know, a couple, like, they're not... It's not great. It's really not great. If I remember correctly, there's so many things where some systems have so many possible ways to have security that's actually fairly robust if the people just do it. You know, if they actually put the time and effort into doing any of that security, I think for this lovely IoT device that they nicknamed the Snitch Puck, it had a lot of built-in security features, like it boot ROM loads bootsys, it verifies a signature against ROM keys, which are masked by some other data. There's all you need to know is that there's a lot of robust security built in to this device where it would be, I don't want to say impossible, but significantly more difficult to actually compromise and use in a malicious manner if they had done any of that. And setting that up isn't actually even that difficult from a configuration standpoint of things. Once the initial thing is set up, it's very easy to just take that same configuration, use it on every device you produce and sell and whatever. But they didn't do any of that. So the device is just very easy to just compromise and get all the lovely little features. Again, I will not do as good of a job as the original talk did. I think the talk is great. I highly recommend giving it a watch. I will paste the video in the chat if you want to go watch it at some point, if you like security talks and stuff. And the talk itself is really entertaining. It's very chill. It's not like some other things. But yes, the big takeaway from the whole thing is a speaker and a microphone are essentially the same thing. You could record audio through any speaker if you know what you're doing. Anyways, there's the talk. It's cool. Give it a watch sometime. It's very fun. Very, very fun stuff in that talk. That's my lovely little info dump for now. I'll info dump about something more less technical and something I probably know a bit more about next time. At one point when that video was fresh in my head, I knew a little bit more. I probably could have told you more about it, but not at this point. It's been quite a while since I've had a chance to rewatch that. I got some other like fun stuff to dump about sometime. Plenty of games as well, like although less info dumpy with those and more just me like geeking out about them. It's hard to find things to actually like feel like I am info dumping, because I feel like I have to be passionate about certain things to want to info dump about it, or passionate enough. And my interests go back and forth on things so often that it's hard to be like, oh yeah, let me tell you all about this thing I haven't touched or done anything with or hardly remember because it's been 2 or 3 years since I last interacted with this in any meaningful capacity. But yes, please, let me info dump about it, please. So I always feel bad if I haven't, like, done something recently enough where it feels like I can actually give a reasonable dump about. If that makes sense, to some extent. Yeah. Oh, we absolutely need to kill the nails. Alright, all those nails are dead. Thank you for the hydration reminder. Nice. No comms. Oh. We'll take a small break from doing trials and queue for alliance raids real quick. Water. Always gotta stay hydrated. Very important. How did I get into Deadlock and do I still play it? I mean, get into it, like, how did I, like, get an invite? Or how did I, like, what made me interested in it? Because I was interested in it because it was, like, a MOBA shooter, which was not the first time I had seen something like that. I had played a game called Paragon that was kind of similar. I don't know if people remember Paragon. It was Epic Games thing, I want to say. I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure it was Epic Games. Very similar kind of thing, like, but the characters were... Yeah, it was bad. The game was not great, but similar kind of thing. And when I played that at the time, I was like, this could be really cool. And I had also played a game called Gigantic, which was also like a MOBA type hero-based, not shooter, but very similar type of feel. So when I saw Deadlock, especially with the character designs they had at the time, I was just very interested in trying it out. I don't still play it, mostly because those types of games I really enjoy more with friends. And also the game is still changing frequently, especially for balance reasons. You know, when you're on that not short, but when you're in what is functionally the beta of a game, you know, testing, there are changes so often that the game doesn't really have time to really establish like a long-term meta, or when they do, sometimes things can be so overpowered or one-sided or whatever that the game's just not really that fun for me at times. I also just, yeah, I like playing team-based games when I have friends to play them with. I'm not as into them, like when it's PvP specifically team-based, when I'm just playing with random people, because I tend to get more frustrated with my team than I otherwise would if I was, you know, doing it myself, or whatever. Like, when I play 1v1 games, like things like, or when I am the only person on my team, it doesn't have to be 1v1, but when I am only looking out for myself, like when I am playing, what do you call it? Like Mahjong, or like fight, or any type of fighting games, or anything like that where it's just me and the only win or loss is mostly dependent on my skill level, like ignoring, you know, fighting games like matchup, like probabilities, not probabilities, but like certain matchups are harder to win in fighting games. So like two people at the same skill level, like you will more likely lose a match if the matchup is not in your favor for certain characters, depending on how bad the matchup is for you. But typically I like playing, like when I play games against other people when it is a skill-based game, I prefer to either play with friends or have no team at all. Yeah. If that makes sense. It's just, I don't get frustrated as much at myself because the only person I have to blame is myself. And when I play with friends, we can do goofy stuff or like whatever we want, that I'm usually just having a good time anyways. For the most part, there were times where I had to stop playing League of Legends, for example, because I would just get too upset and it was not healthy for me mentally. So, yeah. Oh, and then you know what I'll info dump about for you a bit, Jazz, is have you ever heard of or played the game Golden Sun? It was like a Game Boy Advance game. It was a JRPG. You played the DS Golden Sun game. I didn't really like the DS game. In fact, I think it was the weakest by far. Like, not even half as good as the other two, in my opinion. I love those games. I love them so much. I love the character designs. I loved the story. I loved the gameplay. It was very unique for the time, in my opinion. I had such a blast. So I'm such a big fan of the characters, of the world, of just the way like the not class system, but yeah, kind of like classes works based on, you know, the different elements you had, like based on the little oh my gosh, why can I not remember what they're called? The little creatures. You know what I mean. If you play the DS game, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I love the game to death. Also Fire Emblem, although the latest entries have been less interesting to me. Oh, I could info dump about the GameCube and Wii Fire Emblem games. Those are like those are my two favorite Fire Emblem games because they were direct sequels. Like the Wii game is a direct sequel to the GameCube game. You can even transfer your save. Although a lot of people just don't transfer because if I remember correctly, you get, in almost every case, you end up with better characters if you don't transfer because of the way growths work between the games. Yeah, the Wii had a Fire Emblem game. It was, well, technically it had two, wait, was Tokyo Mirage Sessions Fire Emblem on Wii, or was that Wii U? I could be wrong. Anyways, we're ignoring that. Yes, there was a Wii Fire Emblem game. It was Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. So there's Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Path of Radiance is probably my favorite of the two, but it is significantly easier. Radiant Dawn is actually a hard and challenging game. But it is one of my favorites in the entire series because at the beginning of the game, you play the Dawn Brigade, who are like these scrappy band of basically rebels, resistance, whatever you want to call them. So you kind of feel as underpowered as they are. Like you're just struggling to get by each mission. It's hard. Even on normal, those games are hard, especially compared to Fire Emblems now. And you know, back then, we didn't have the quality of life feature where you can just not have to deal with, what do you call it? Not have to deal with, but you couldn't rewind in the old games. So like if you made a mistake in an old Fire Emblem, you just had to either restart the chapter or deal with the fact that the character was gone for the rest of your playthrough. Nowadays, we have what I would consider a quality of life feature where you can at least turn back a turn. You know, once in a while. It's nice. I think on higher difficulties in the newer ones, they give you less ability to turn back. Maybe on the highest difficulties, maybe you don't get to. I'm not sure. But like, you know, Fire Emblem's known for that kind of thing. But the Wii, yeah, they were added after Awakening. That's what I'm talking about. So like, they didn't have those in the GameCube and Wii games. So they were really hard. Like, you had to know what you were doing. And I also loved like the characters that were like the transforming animals, the Lagoos. Loved them. I really like the Wolf Queen. Just peak design. No, I will not be explaining. She's just great. And also, just all of them are really good. Oh gosh, it's such a good game. I think so anyways. Well, what do I know? Awakening was your first one. Oh, I see. Naila? What? It's like Nailah, something like that, or Naliah. I can't remember exactly how her name is spelled. Son of a. Yeah, love her. She's great. I just love those Fire Emblems. I love Fire Emblem in general because I like strategy RPGs. I also used to very much roleplay out my playthroughs when I was a kid. Like I would do little voices for the characters when I was doing like the actual maps and stuff. Same thing when I played Advance Wars. Advance Wars is another series I really liked. Although it had its balance problems. Black Hole Rising. Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising, Lash is unambiguously the best commanding officer in the entire game. By far, it's not even close. No one comes close to how broken she is. There is zero comparison. It is just that bad. Fire Emblem Heroes, I stopped quit. Yeah, I did not like Heroes. I also have my problems with the latest Fire Emblem Engage. Mostly the fact that, like, let me put it this way. Three Houses had great maps, but, sorry, not great maps. Three Houses had a good story, but, like, the gameplay was just not great, especially when you were doing the other routes, because you're just playing the same maps over and over. It gets very boring very quickly. Meanwhile, in Engage, you have really good gameplay, but some of the worst story I've ever experienced in a Fire Emblem. There is a support conversation in Fire Emblem Engage where where a character says, and look, I get it's a joke. It's supposed to be a joke, but like, in the moment it's happening, it just takes you out of the world so hard that I can't. One of the characters says, and I'm not kidding when I say this, she says, "Come out here before we turn your intestines into outtestines." And I'm like, come on. You can't. You absolutely cannot give a character a line like that. It's just so... Also, they just, like... I get after the controversy that Three Houses had, they turned down some of the, like, pact bond, like, the ring, dialogue for the main character in Engage. But they did it for way more of the characters than they needed to, and they basically removed any reference to romance, and it kind of just bothers me. Peak writing, alternatively, come out before we force fem you. What is wrong with you? You know what? I don't even have to ask. I already know. I don't need an answer to that question. She's cooking? Yeah, she's cooking some, I don't even know what she's cooking, but I don't want any. All I can tell you is I don't want none. It's a great pun, what do you mean? I don't think I need to explain myself. I think it's pretty clear what I mean. Dang, she hates my cooking, but she hasn't even tried it. I mean... yeah. I will try it in November when you come visit. That'll be fun. Then you have to try my cooking. Which we both know is going to be better than your cooking, but only because I said so. Not because you're bad at cooking, but just because I said that mine's better than yours. You know. And that makes it true. The girlfriend... I really... I wish my girlfriend would stop calling it that. The legendary girlfriends. It sounds so... It just sounds like such a silly innuendo when it's phrased like that, but it's not an innuendo. It's literally pasta sauce. It's just homemade pasta sauce. That's all it is. Hides away the mention of cooking due to being born in England. Ah, I see. My favorite video online is like someone being like, nah, some of the best restaurants in the world are in England. And someone's like, yeah, what kind of food do they serve? And he's like, French. And that's the whole joke. That is the entire joke, is that even the good restaurants in England don't serve English food. Or England's national dish is tiki masala. That can't be real. Is that like a joke, or is that like an actual, like, that's the actual national dish? You cannot convince me that's the actual national dish. You'd believe it? You'd believe anything. Because they stole it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the English are very good at stealing things. Kind of like their national pastime. Okay, that's I can't believe that's real. Oh gosh. Streaming was definitely the right idea for today. I've had such a good day because of this. I mean, it just feels good after not doing it for so long. Like, I do want to stream more often, more consistently. I just, you know, it's just a lot. Roommates still tend to keep me out of the kitchen and salt a lot more often. It's that bad? They're like, they won't let you in the kitchen? I'm sorry. I feel bad even, like, thinking that's kind of funny. It is a little funny, you gotta admit. Like, it's a little bit. A little bit. Nice. We'll come to the white mage here. Is that papaya? Papaya is a great Lalafell name. 10 out of 10. Used to be a lot worse. Oh no. I have heard about the issues with people remembering seasoning. I have heard. Did I not get? Oh no, okay, I did get adventure need bonus. That's what I was hoping for. Because getting extras of these is nice. I do want to get an actual meld set at some point. We could Q DPS here if it's needed. How much did I get for the Alliance raid one? Not that much, because those are the shorter ones. I do want a little bit of a break from playing tank though, so we'll go swap to let's see, I'm thinking Dragoon. Do Alliance raids as Dragoon. English cooking is so bland they had to invade other countries to steal flavor. I mean, that's not the entire reason they did that. They did it because they could sell the flavor. Being honest, they did it for money. It's always been about money. It always will be about money. And I hate it. I hate that that's just like how it works. Bothers me a lot. But, you know, is what it is. Drinking more water. This stuck on retrieving information is interesting. Never seen that just stuck there. What other DS classes could I queue on? No, we're gonna leave it on Dragoon. Monk sounds like it would be fun to play too, though. I do like my Monk Clamor. I don't want to re-queue now, though. Dragoon, the jump class. Yes, lots of jumps. We got this jump, and this jump, and this jump, and I think one more, actually. So we have elusive jump. We have jump, which turns into high jump, then mirage dive, star diver, Dragonfire Dive, Star Cross. Yeah, you know, normal amount of jumps. It's fun. I do like Dragoon. Dragoon was like one of the classes that made me fall in love with Final Fantasy ever since Final Fantasy IV with Kain. Wait, is Kain a Dragoon or is he a Dark Knight? Why do I remember him being a Dragoon? Please tell me he's not a Dark Knight and he's a Dragoon. He's a Dragoon, right? Kain, yeah, Kain Highwind. There we go. He's a Dragoon. I'm thinking of someone else. Cecil's the Dark Knight. Cecil. Or Cecil, or whatever. He's Dark Knight, turns into a Paladin, or whatever. Also Final Fantasy IV. God 4 is such a good game. All the Final Fantasies are... Well, okay. The first two are questionable. The rest of them are really good. Like how they changed this to Lance Charge. This used to just be Blood for Blood. Those are a roll ability for DPS. 13 is questionable. I mean, 13 is just mediocre. It's overhated. I know why you don't like it, but it's not that bad. 15 was worse on release. 15 got a lot better when it got the DLC, so you like actually get to experience what the boys were doing when Noctis was gone. And it's like, there's some really cool side stuff, and also being able to play the other characters is more interesting than just playing Noctis the entire game. 16 is cool, but has problems with the design overall, but like probably one of the better mainline games they've made in a long time. The 7 remakes are just not it for me. I get why people like them, but they don't even do they're not even the same story. Like, a huge part of the 7 remakes is that it's a different story. And in fact, there are these like little ghost things that show up in the 7 remakes that are actually preventing you, not preventing you, like, the player, but like, they're there in-game, more or less. Like, if you know the original story of Final Fantasy, they are preventing Cloud from doing the same shit that caused the same problems to happen in OG Final Fantasy VII. So it's, like, very weird. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. I feel like this is not going to go through. Oh, no, there it goes. Oh, God. Not again. This is the problem. I really should go unlock the current series. I'll probably be getting... Well, I can't do them on Dragoon, because... Not level 100. The Final Fantasy we fully played and beaten are 3, 13, and 13-2. How is... Or gameplay, more of a classic RPG style. I mean, yeah, it's more of a classic RPG. It's closer to 3. I mean, I think it's good. I think 4 and 6 are both really good. I mean, 6 has the funny clown. He's very funny. Yep, super funny. That's what I will say about him. God, I hate the clown. 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 I don't get an actual AoE combo because we're in the level 50 content. At least give me Power Surge. Gosh. Get clowned. Oh, did you play the original 3 or did you play the 3 remake? Because there was a 3D remake for 3. Or was that 4? Oh god, why can't I remember? No, it was definitely 3. Yeah, is that the one you played or did you play the original? Because the remake is a little different from the original. One is... doesn't even matter. I feel like I just don't have most of my kit. Unfortunately, getting scaled down like this is just so... It's the big problem with the game right now. Luckily, when they do the combat rework, they said you're going to have literally all of your options at 50, which is like the big thing a lot of people wanted. I'm very grateful that they are doing that. Almost 9 p.m. for us? It's 8:30. It's not that bad. Like, I'm usually up at least this late on weekends. Just got so unlucky. What happened? Oh, you mean with your expert craft? Yeah, I mean, that's... Yep, that's part of the problem. Sometimes you just get extremely unlucky with conditions. Yep. Right. Oh, you miscounted, you're done? Oh, nice. Did you miscount because of the one that you got the 3rd on? So you probably only got 1 on that one, but you still had enough? Is that what happened? That's what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Yeah, okay. See, I sometimes pay attention. Just enough. I pay just enough attention to know what's going on sometimes, kind of. Right, battle litanies level 52. I keep thinking it's 50. What do I get at Yeah, it's trying fire dive. That's what I thought. Oh god. What a day, what a day, what a day. This is better for me mentally though. I had a much better day today because of all this. Pan gloves now. Oh, your pen glows now. Oh, you finished it? Nice! Congrats. Now do the rest of them. Finishing the mining one now? That one doesn't count. Do the other crafters. Oh, that's what you are doing right now. I see, I see. I understand now. Kind of. Those that to get moved. There you go. Wrong button. Then you do goldsmith. Okay, that makes sense. Get another couple clusters for my materia. Eventually meld in. I think that is all I have in me for today. I am tired. Well, I'm just tired of streaming, tired of talking. That's 2 hours on top of the 3.5 I did earlier, so 5.5 hours of streaming today. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good overall, considering how long it was since I last streamed. So, I'll be calling it there, and, yeah, thank you all for stopping by, and, yeah, thanks. Have a good one.